Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm drying my different types of seeds. Not all of my seeds. Different seeds I use different methods, such as beans are very different than what I'm going to be talking about today in the way that I dry them and then save them for seed for next year. But today's going to be mostly about different herbs. Now the date that I'm shooting this, just so you can get an idea when you see the garden where we're at, because I don't know when I'm going to publish this, is June 30th. So anyway, I'm going to get out there and show you what I'm doing. So I'm coming out here to the main garden area, and they'll all be going into far more detail about what's going on out here this year and why it's so very different than the previous several years of this particular section. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about it today, and that is mostly what I'm doing here is allowing much of the herbs that self-seed naturally and just grow really well in my garden. I'm just letting them do their thing this year instead of keeping them thinned back, because I'm collecting seed from a lot of them. And today it's time to start collecting my borage seed. So again, today is actually June 30th. Usually I've already started collecting my borage seed by now, but a lot of things have been way behind, and even my borage plants out here aren't as big as they normally get. But anyway, I'm going to come over here actually to this little strip right here. You can see it's kind of fenced in on all sides, and that was to keep the chickens out of here when the herbs started coming up, and now the chickens are totally blocked off from this whole entire area. And I'm going to come over here to this borage plant because it's the most mature one with the most mature looking seed. So obviously there's still some flowers on there. However, when you look at the flowers, these ones at the bottom where the flowers are long gone, and you look inside there and you start seeing seeds that are black, or you find some that are open like this but they're empty and there's nothing in there, then you know it's time to start cutting them, like right there. That one is empty because the seeds have already fallen out of there. See that? So what I do is I cut off the whole top of this stalk. Now usually once when it comes to borage, once it starts doing that, cutting it off doesn't cause it to make more flowers necessarily. Sometimes it will, but mostly the plant is pretty much done. But the great thing about borage is you'll constantly see more new younger plants coming up, like over there, just all over. You see the borages everywhere. And then if you come over here, you can see some more that are a little bigger. Now borage can get sometimes as tall as 5 feet. But again, these are all pretty much on the small side, especially for how early they're going to seed. So basically I'm just going to cut each section from down here, or you can even cut all the way down to here. Just depends on how you want it. I'm going to try to keep as much of the big thick stems out and stalks out of the where I'm going to be drying them out as possible. So let me go ahead and cut these, and then I'll show you what I do with them next. Some of the other ones I've been cutting recently and saving and putting up so I can have for seed are the woolly lamb's ear. Bees also absolutely love this. When they're in bloom like this, they make just a wonderful sweet smell. But as I see the different flower heads, you might even see some cut stalks here, like right here. What I do when I see them mature, where most of the flowers are pretty much died off on it and the thing's starting to turn, like these ones here are getting kind of close, then I just come out here and I cut them down. I'll cut it back, like right here you can see this one was ready. This one was not quite ready, so I've left it. Maybe tomorrow or later today it'll be ready for me to cut. But anyway, I'm putting up a lot of woolly lamb's ear seed this year. I've got a ways to go with the echinacea because it has only just started blooming, and even the ones that have bloomed are just real tiny, so it's also very much behind. But I'll be using the same method with the echinacea that I'll be showing you, and also with some of the other seeds that you'll see out there. All right, coming over here to my main clothesline, and this goes clear over to the greenhouse, so it's actually pretty long. Let me back up so you can see pretty much how long it is. And I'm still not all the way back. I got another pillowcase hanging there, and I'm going to explain those in a minute. So these pillowcases are all holding different seeds that I'm drying. So when I cut them in a stalk form at all, then I put them in pillowcases. I bring these inside at night and bring them out in the day when it's sunny and not rainy, which we've actually been having some nice days, and then hang them out here where they can dry really well, especially the borage, because borage holds a lot of water. And so I used to dry them in the paper bags in the greenhouse, but then they'd rot. So I need to have them get plenty of air. So I'm going to stick my first cluster down there. I did look over some of the other borage, just not quite ready yet to start cutting. But I will have this pillowcase packed full of flowers to dry and collect seeds from. So I came up with the pillowcase method last year. Now, why do I have so many pillowcases? Well, these are all, most of these except for that one there, have all come from sheets that I've bought at garage sales. So the big sheets, you know, the flat sheet and the fitted sheets I'll use for making things like aprons and skirts. A lot of times I'll incorporate the pillowcases in, but now what I've been doing is saving all the pillowcases, especially if they're all 100% cotton, and then using them for my seeds. So what I do is I just take a piece of paper, write on what's in here. So you can see I've got nettle in here. And then this one, we're working on the catnip. I don't have a whole lot in here yet. This one is the valerian. This one was felt really full, but the flowers are pretty well dried up now, and so they've taken up a lot less room. And here I've got feverfew. I'll go ahead and show you this one. You see down in there, look at all that. Feverfew is something we definitely never have a shortage of. In fact, coming over here, just right behind me, everywhere, there's feverfew everywhere. And some of these, like right here, these are about mature enough that I can cut and put in there. And then in these 2 bags, I'm doing lamb's ear. So it's been one of my more popular seeds, like the marshmallow and feverfew, and every year I sell out. So hopefully this year, see, I've started a second bag, I will have enough to get us through the year. But yeah, I do what we can here on our little shy 1/3 acre piece. I'm gonna try to collect lots and lots of seed. I have more seed I'm collecting and new ones I'll be adding this year, like the pineapple weed and a few others. So anyway, the pillowcase method, I just came up with it last year. The reason why is that all of these seeds here, all of the ones I've got in these bags, because they're teeny tiny seeds, I needed something that could catch the seeds as they fall, because I do the same thing with the amaranth, and as they fall off the stalks out of the flower heads, and yet also allow them to get plenty of air so they can, the plants themselves that are in there, the plant pieces, can dry really well. And this has worked really good. And you know, being that it's cotton, it's a lot more natural, and then of course allows it to breathe better than putting into plastic bags. Even though I plan on doing this update soon of this main garden area, I'll do a quick shot of over here. My bean section is very thin this year, but I've been picking beans. I'm going to be canning some soon. Sad that it's so thin that it should be just totally filled in, but like here's a picture from last year of this same area, just thick with the bean plants, but just not a good year. Anyway, I'm going to be talking more about the importance of seed saving and so on in future videos. So just wanted you to see what's happening, marshmallow, sunflowers, and so on, and how things are looking right now as of June 30th. All right, so that's how I dry my seeds. I'll probably be doing an update video if I remember of how I then sort them. But I do have an old series I did, I think maybe 2 years ago, about herb seed saving, and in those ones I was covering specific ones. So I'll go ahead and link to that playlist down below so you can see how I did that. I know I covered at least the amaranth, the marshmallow, and some other things. I think calendula as well. There were several that I did, and so probably what I'll do is maybe this year, if I remember, I'll do some more showing you how I sort the seeds and with some of the other herbs that I've got going on. I hope you found this video helpful. It might be an idea that could work well for you where you're at. We all have our different ways of drying and saving seeds. This is just the one I found to work best for me when it comes to teeny tiny herb seeds like these. And that's from last year, remember. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.